Hey, welcome back to Dawkins Family Farm. We're here on the farm today and I have a special girl with me. This is Caroline. And what is today?
Today's my birthday.
Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Caroline.
Thank you. I'm turning 12.
She's 12 now, so next year we have 1 year left and then we'll be a teenager.
And you'll have one preteen left.
And I'll only have one preteen left. These preteen years have gone really quick. Oh goodness. All right, what are we gonna do today?
We're gonna look at my meadow.
We're gonna go look at the meadow because Dad is down there with Luke and they are up to a very big project. So we'll give you a little update on things that have happened in the last week. So last week was Cookie and Savannah's last show. And she has gone to live at another farm since then, and that was pretty good just to pull the band-aid off pretty quickly there. And Savannah said goodbye and it was sweet, and she's on to another farm for the rest of her life. So yeah, and since then we have been busy getting the flower meadow up and running. Let me give you a little tour of what we've been working on. So this is the garden area up by the corner. Grant planted his potatoes this morning, and it might be on, Caroline, I don't know. Well, that's a way to test it, but that's not the way I would ever test it. Hey, you know it might be on. It might zap you. It's not? Huh. Anyway, so this is the garden. Yesterday they worked at getting the deer fence up, which is basically a 3D deer fence, and it has 3 strands on it. And they're all set at different varying heights, and then also at a distance. So it's supposed to work. We will see. It's not on, so Caroline's playing around.
Can I show them the plants?
Yeah. I'm not going to climb through, so I'm going to take this off.
No, I could just...
So you just unlatch it. And hang it there. Alright, so here's the garden, and we have put up 2 low tunnels. They're also called caterpillar tunnels, and they are covering up our stock plants. Looks like the frost cloth is blown on them, but there they are. I think they need a little fertilizer, but they have survived 2 major rainstorms, and the cold's coming this weekend again, so that will help. They are cold tolerant, so the cold is not what we're worried about, but there was like a deluge of rain that kind of fell from the sky, so that really helped them not drown out here, so that kind of helps with that. And then if it gets below like 28 degrees, we'll put the frost cloth on them and then cover them with the greenhouse fabric, plastic. So that is... So that was a big project, is getting those low tunnels put together. We've never made one before, so for us that was a big learning curve. So the first tunnel we created, we used the frost cloth on top, but it wasn't long enough, and we were trying to piecemeal it together. The next morning we went to church, and by the time we came home it was ripped to shreds when the wind picked up. So we went back to the drawing board, and we found a couple of videos on YouTube about how to build a caterpillar tunnel, low tunnel for high winds, and we went with that route. Let me show you actually what, in case any of y'all are ever needing to build a low tunnel, y'all can figure out what we did, because it worked really well, and it has survived now since with some pretty big winds. So this is the greenhouse fabric, plastic, 6 milliliters. And basically we have these, a hoop bender that we built these hoops with, and they are on top of some fiberglass rods that are 2 feet into the ground and 2 feet above the ground. So if you look, there's 2 feet of a fiberglass rod in the ground and then 2 feet above the ground. And then these hoops kind of slide on top of it. But before you put down the hoop, we have this old hose that we drilled 2 holes in, and then that's what keeps, so this will pull up and keep this from going like deep into the ground, and then also it holds down with some tension the hoop to the ground, and then the ropes will hold the plastic on. So they're just kind of crisscrossed over each one and tied off at the end. So one guy we found just used 2 T-posts and gathered up the greenhouse plastic and with a knot at the end and just kind of basically sandwiched them between the T-posts and then tied them off. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's the 2 T-posts. I don't know if you can even see it. Like they're really close together and then wired together, and then the plastic just sits through there. So when it pulls, it's pulled tight through the T-posts and doesn't go anywhere. And you can slide them up and down to cool it off, because when the sun is shining it gets pretty warm under there, and we want to be able to ventilate them, because again, it's dark like it really cold. And look how many of them there are. I actually have another whole tray I need to plan out, so that will be an adventure for this week. It's spring break, so it started yesterday. I'm not sure why they get Friday off, but they got Friday off, so it started yesterday, and all the kids are going to be home this week, so hopefully they'll help me plan out some plants and get things going. So the other project that we just now have started is putting up the deer fence in the meadow. So I don't know if I told you or not, but just the other night we came out to the pasture and there were 8 deer. A little herd of 8 deer in the pasture, and they were standing right at the black fence that kind of goes around the home area, and they were just looking at it like, should we go over there, should we not? They do it all the time, but it was like, now that we have plants in the ground, it's a little more serious of a thing. So definitely the meadow's like their home. They eat all the snacks around, the acorns under the trees and those kind of things. So the before we put all the yummy plants in the ground, we want to make sure the deer fence is in place so they don't get used to tasting them and those kind of things. So Luke is out here helping Grant, and looks like they already have one side done. We had hoped to actually plant up here in the upper terrace something pretty to like walk through when you enter, but at this point I'm not really sure what likes their roots that soggy. And I'm sure it'll dry up come summer when we don't have any rain, and rain's not an issue, but it's holding a lot of water. So right now it is going to just be grass until we can figure out a plan of things to plant there and maybe level it out or something like that. I'm gonna walk by the chickens, so I'll let you say hello. Well, hello ladies. Are y'all wondering, you came all the way out to see me and didn't bring the compost bucket? What's up with that? I know, right? I usually bring you all the treats the kids didn't eat. Feeding compost to chickens is super fun. They love the compost bucket. It's been like our secret way of getting them to come inside their coop. So if we let them out during the morning, it's harder to get them in their coop. So we just bring out the compost bucket and they all come running. At night, if we let them out, they put themselves up and then we can just close the door. So it's not a big deal at night. But in the morning, if we let them out, they don't want to come in unless they see that compost bucket of goodies, and then they all come running. These little sticks have worked out really well that Grant put in here and attached. They all like to roost up there and hang out, and there's kind of space for all of them. So here's the deer fence from the, well, I'm not at the back of the meadow yet, but you can see, so it's double posted all the way down, so you can have the 3D deer fence. And it'll go from that corner all the way to the fence row back there, which will also keep the cows out when we get cows again, and the deer. So he's working on that little project, and then we can keep going with the fence posts. So today's project of putting the deer fence in, Grant has his mighty mini helper, Luke.
I touched the electric fence over there and I didn't even get shocked.
You didn't? Well, that's because it's not working quite right. I think it's grounded somewhere.
No.
You will get shocked though when it's fixed.
because it is flowing.
Yeah.
Because Dad
We'll
got
see.
shocked. Dad got shocked.
Hmm.
You told me to put my whole hand on there. I put my whole hand on there. I didn't get shocked.
Yesterday, Grant had Jack down here helping, or up at the garden and installing the fence. But Papa stole Jack away for the day for some other work up at his house. So, Luke, coming in clutch.
I'm the man of the house.
You're not the man of the house. You're with the man of the house. You're learning from the man of the house. You're the apprentice.
Man.
You're the mini man.
And the
You're the apprentice. Yep.
Jack's the servant.
So, a lot of times, Jack's a great worker and has learned to be, but he started about the same age Luke is now. Really getting after it. So, it's time for Luke to get in the game and learn to be a good worker. So, he's been helping Dad measure out the fence posts.
We're putting them in.
Look at this meadowy, muddy mess. It's hard to believe that we're supposed to be planting plants out here. First year for the meadow.
It was a hog heaven.
It does look like a hog heaven. Hogs would love it out here, for sure. Next year, hopefully, we'll have it all prepared a little better in the fall so that we don't run up against this problem in the spring. But it is a muddy, muddy mess for sure.
All right, Luke, time to measure up.
All right, show us what your job is.
Okay. Hopefully that's not right where it's coming from.
So, Luke, tell me about this measuring thing. What are you doing?
Well, I'm measuring it so that we know what the distance is. So we can walk way over there. So there's these two fences.
Uh-huh.
One to keep them out, and one to just in case they jump over them. They can't jump into the flower farm.
Who's jumping into our flower farm?
Deer
Oh dear, they're gonna definitely want to.
and rabbits. We don't want rabbits either.
Well,
Now, if we do rabbits, we'll have to put another string, another wire even further down to the ground.
But I hope we don't get rabbits.
I know, they will really think all the plants are yummy.
that'll be a bad thing. We think deer are bad.
Ew. It's not disgusting.
Actually,
Oh! I broke it! The worm! Oh my goodness! Look how... But the chickens would like to eat it.
I bet the chickens would love it.
Can I go feed it to the chickens?
Sure.
you can run all the way up there to feed a chicken a worm.
Run all the way up there, buddy. Here comes the snack guy. found some more T-posts. All right, well that wraps it up from the flower meadow, and picked myself a little bouquet of fresh daffodils for the week. They're fun to have, and it's just a fun thing to think that someone a long time ago planted these, and here we are still picking them. So I love daffodils. They're a little bit of cheery when it's like dead and brown and gray and dreary and cold. They're the happiest little flowers. I love them. And well, I'll give you an update for what we're doing. We're excited about what's happening here at the flower meadow, and the deer fence going in is a big project that's been in the making for a long time, and that will allow us to actually plant the flowers out in the meadow. So we couldn't put anything out there until the deer fence went up. So this weekend is the weekend to make it happen. We can't really do anything else because it's so wet, and it's actually supposed to rain again later today. So the deer fence project it is, and just so thankful to have the ability to put it in over all this acreage, because that's a big deal, and allow us to plant out all our flowers. Next weekend is the weekend that we start all of our warm season. So when we talk about the flower meadow and walking through the fields of flowers, those are the flowers that we start from seed next weekend. So we're super excited to start all those and get them started and to get them out in the field. Our last frost date is mid-April, so it's coming up quickly. We're about a month away, and can't wait. It's gonna be so pretty just to have rows and rows and rows out there, all protected by a deer fence, Lord willing. At least that's the plan. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great week. We are busy here on the meadow at Dawkins Family Farm, and we hope you are enjoying your weekend doing something you love with the people that you love. God bless.